Crew, I see you. Die hard. Trav. We gonna do this one the right way. We in here forever. Yeah. Die hard. Homie, die hard. You can check the swag, he the realest by far. Swimming in that blue and orange, he the lifeguard. Yeah, he been through pain, at least he got some nice scars. He can smell the trophy, yeah, he need it back to back. Represent himself, his own name is on his back. 10 toes down, try to stop him, he come back. Bandwagon hoppers, he will knock you off your tracks. You ain't saying nothing, Nero been here from the start. He been working in the lab to take his team and make it art. See him going over film to help him build and make him smart. He will tell you how he feels because he's real and he got heart. He will never fade away, he will never change his face. Everybody picking faves and he's feeling out of place. Cause he is for the team and he always rep the squad. Like that Christmas movie, he gon' always die hard. City on my back. They ask me what's my name and it is on my back. I'm just speaking facts. We got big dreams, we ain't looking back. We be really die hard, yeah, that's a fact. We be really die hard, ain't no going back. Make the whole crowd rise like a thermostat. Fourth quarter, I'm the killer that's gonna murder that.
What's good, guys? Yeah, I forgot to take my man Luis out the screen here, but it's all good, man, because it's a surprise here. Mr. Luis is hanging out with me today, man. It's from the last podcast, a lot of people liked you, man. So you know they you're probably gonna get a lot more comments and stuff like that off the pod and stuff, man.
Thank you. I didn't know. I honestly didn't read any of the comments, so thank you. I thought people would hate me.
Well, I mean, different takes. People feel strongly about certain things, but the stuff that we were talking about in the pod the last time, I feel like all that stuff is kind of coming to light now in this series. So people are changing their stance on the team, and then I think right now everybody's, for the most part, is locked into the playoffs. Outside of everything that we've been talking about all year, as far as players that we hate and dislike. I think right now everybody's really locked in and just pushing for these guys.
I agree.
Yeah. So initially, man, just with this Knicks squad here, what do you think about how we've been doing in the playoffs?
Wow, I changed up really quick. I'll tell you that. The first game, I said, "Wow, the Knicks have it. The Knicks are locked in. They're keyed in." Game 2, the Cleveland Cavaliers showed me something that reminded me of my old basketball team growing up, and it was the scariest thing in the world to see their defensive schemes. The things they were doing. I said, "This is it." As a Knicks fan, I wanted to have belief, but when I saw that brand of defense, there were Doberman pinchers out there, and they were well coached, right? When I saw that, I said, "That's it." I said, "The series is over." I said, "The Knicks don't have an answer for this. They just don't." So when Game 3 came around, and Game 3, they turned it around. They made the adjustments. Let's say they made the adjustments of the traps, and they knew where to pass out of those Cleveland traps. Wow, I was stunned, and I think that was one of the best moments of my Knicks fan history, in the history of being a Knicks fan, is saying, "Wow, we're up 2-1." When I thought we were going to go down 2-1, because that's how well the Cleveland Cavaliers were playing defense. And man, I thought that was it. So now to be up 2-1, I mean, we're up, excuse me. So sorry. We're up, 3-1. Sorry. Yeah. My math sucks. We're up 3-1. For me to think that we're up 3-1, I must say I'm surprised, and I am a Knicks fan. I am surprised. I can't have more pride in this team. And when I say the team, I mean like the team, as in no individuals. I'm talking about collective team. Man, does it feel good to see these guys pull together. We're talking about guys like Harkenstein right now having a great hand in a win. Like, we're talking about guys grabbing loose loose rebounds like Obi Toppin or who I can bring in all these guys. And this is truly, we're talking team basketball. And this is all I asked of the Knicks. This is all I asked. And the fact that they're doing this in the playoffs, whoo, almost sheds a tear. I can almost shed a tear.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. The big word is pride. You know, it's like almost like your child. Like your child, you look at them, maybe they're disoriented, maybe you don't really like, oh, I don't think he has it. But then when it's game time and then like you haven't, maybe you just gave him, let the coach do his thing, you know, and then when you finally come to the game to see your kid play and you're like, what the hell is going on here? Like you're just overwhelmed with pride. It's like, wow, this guy really, he got it. He really figured it out, you know?
Hey, listen, it's like it's almost like, yeah, and to bring your game on this stage and to go all out, listen, it's defense and rebounding, right? That's
Yeah.
hustle. That's in basketball, that's the definition of hustle, is defense and rebounding. And the Knicks have done that. Look at the last two games, right? The rebounds, Knicks dominating. Defense, holding the Cavaliers to under, what was it, 80? Right? Didn't they
Yeah,
have
79 in the third game. Yeah.
the first time you're holding a powerful Cavs offense that's led by a phenom named Donovan Mitchell. You're holding Donovan Mitchell down. You're limiting the Cavs second. You're limiting the Cavs second options, third options. I'm shocked as I sit here. I'm shocked. The fact that you're one game away from advancing to a second round, and we'll get to the path that's being created. But shit is exciting to be a Knicks fan right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you get a chance to get out in the streets or you been out traveling and stuff? Are you in the city?
No, I've been. Oh God, I was in Miami and I was watching the games in Miami. But I wish I was outside. I heard you were there for Game 4, right? Or 3, 4? No,
Yeah, I was there for game 4. Yeah. Hmm.
4. So were you out in the streets, partying, doing the whole thing?
Absolutely, man. But I'm a little older, man. So nowadays I can't get into the pack with all the jumping and stuff like that. I'll be finished, you know.
How
But
amazing is it to see that? Like you were there, right? You were there.
yeah, coming out of game 4, when the big pack, the viral videos that are going out, I
Yeah,
was right behind the pack. I was right on what was that, 7th Avenue and 31st Street.
yeah,
I
yeah.
was over there, so those guys are like literally right in front of the garden. So
Yeah.
we was behind them, so I was too busy hugging guys and stuff, all of my other Nick friends that I've met throughout the years. We all met each other on the corner. Everybody was there. So we was like all hugging each other.
Wow,
It's incredible, man.
that's it.
Nothing like it.
Listen, there is nothing like it. Nobody understands. That's the Knicks fans, right? The Knicks fan. That's the Knicks fans. There's nothing like the Knicks fans. I don't care. Sacramento, you can go as crazy as possible with your laser. Ain't nothing like New York. Nothing. Smartest fans in the world, craziest fans in the world in a good way, not Boston crazy, but New York crazy. And I'm telling you, wow, the energy. I just want to get to Game 6. Like I know we want to close out Game 5. I get it, but I want there to be a Game 6 so I can go. I don't care what I have to pay. I want to go to Game 6 to experience the craziness that we're talking about inside the Garden and then after the Garden. There's nothing like it. I get goosebumps by looking at it on my YouTube screen.
Yeah, that's so cliche. We were in a suite. We were in suite 302. So it was one of the smaller suites, but still, regardless, while the game was starting, the intros and things like that, I was standing, right in front of the steps, kind of, and everybody's standing, just looking, right. So I literally caught goosebumps. I'm looking, I said, "Do I really got goosebumps?" I had to show the guys, like, "Do I have goosebumps for real?" The guys like, "Yeah, you got goosebumps." So it's a real feeling, man. The emotions are so high. Like you said, it's something that no one can really explain. Like you was in Miami. Miami fans, are fair weather. The Cleveland fans are kind of stuck up. I don't know what's
Of
going on.
course. I'm gonna say I've been to a lot of arenas. Miami's some of the dumbest fans you've ever seen.
Absolutely, man. And a lot of them are New York transplants anyway. Guys from New York anyway. They kind of like lost their soul a little bit.
Yeah, they
Um,
went. Now they're rooting for Miami because they're in Miami, but it's all about the glitz and glamour and money there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At least our guys with the money in New York, they know what's going on. I think in Miami, those Heat fans. I mean, they're slow. They're
Yeah.
slow to whistle. They're slow. The New York fans are like the antithesis of that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But
That's the thing too. Like people in New York, there's a lot of people with money in New York, but the difference with the fans is that the guys with money and guys that are broke have no problems sharing the same space, hugging and each other in the middle of the street. They have no problem with that. That's just the New York way there.
That's what you were just pointing out. If you go on all those YouTube videos and you're looking, man, that's the biggest blend in the world. That's everyone. That's not one class of people. That's everyone. I don't care. They might be dressed the same way, right? They all got the Knicks gear on, but they come from every walk of life. And, because of the losing throughout the years, it makes it much like you remember the Atlanta Hawks playoffs and the Knicks and how and the fans and how crazy they got and how happy they got. Well, that came back times two. And I think we go to the second round. I don't know what we expect. I don't know. The cops and the fire department better get out there if there's a second round. And God forbid, there's a third round. There's an Eastern Conference Finals. They better call in the National Guard, the CIA, because we ain't going nowhere.
The great thing about the New York, the Knicks stuff is that, like guys were in the street on 7th Avenue and 31st. We were in the street, but there were police officers out there. But I've never seen police officers treat, people like this, big crowds like that. I never seen police so under control. They weren't like in riot gear mode. They were just, hey guys, kind of stay out the street, and everybody's, oh yeah, my bad. It's more like it was like a loving thing. They had the white shirts out there and everything, but it was just such a peaceful thing because even like the police officers were cheering too. Because it's like no other. It's not like the Rangers, not like the Yankees. Like the Knicks haven't won in years.
Right. Everybody, the city is banded together for the Knicks, and you're right. It's like a love affair. Even with that energy out there, the jumping and the hitting bodies and all that, you can tell it's all love. And there's no chance for any fights. There's none of that. It's just all love. Everybody's super happy because even in the down in the economic time and the way it is right now, if you can at least get some joy in a Knicks win, man, everybody momentarily, everybody somehow gets along. It's like a good economy. If everyone's doing well economically, everyone gets along. And if the Knicks win, everyone gets along.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the main things. Kind of like thesis statement of this podcast. Like I just want to meet fans, man. I love to hear you. Like you're one of the one of my favorite guys to just listen to talk basketball. I just love to hear your opinion, to hear the way that you say it. It makes me feel good. So that's the whole point of me doing this. I just want to meet more and more people just so I can get that. I just want to hear basketball talk. I want to hear Knicks talk. So I want to be around people like this. So that's why I started it. It's amazing, man. We were at Legends NYC. That's like right at the foot of you know where it is?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's like right at the foot of the Empire State Building. So
Yeah.
They chose that spot because it's kind of off from Stout. Stout over there is kind of hectic.
I've been to Stout, a couple pregame Stout things. Yeah.
Yeah, it gets hectic in there. But you go like half a block up, and then you go into Legends, and the atmosphere is a little bit, not as tight in there. But the same energy is there, within itself there.
All right, that's a nice little 1-2 punch you guys had. That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Very jealous. Very jealous you went, man. Very jealous. I got to get to a game. I got to get to
Wait,
I
didn't mean to interrupt you.
No.
No, I was gonna say, like, even if you can't get into the arena, like come to one of these things because Nothing But Knicks, they do a live podcast. We've been doing live podcasts at the bar and stuff. So before and after the game. So even before and after, you can come through and chop it up with the guys too on online and just in person too, just kicking it and watching the game and stuff.
I live right by there, so I love to. I could see the garden from my apartment. So
right,
perfect. I would love to.
You're like the what do you call what's that the most interesting man in the world? You're definitely one of those guys, man. If anybody that follows him on Instagram, I think you're more active on Instagram, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're more active on Instagram, right?
Instagram, yeah. Twitter, not really. Facebook is just like family, and then Instagram's like the public thing, yeah.
Yeah, so if you guys follow him on Instagram, he's like involved in a whole bunch of stuff, man. You'll see pictures and you're seeing him doing a bunch of cool stuff. It's like this is like the most interesting man in New York City right here, Mr.
It looks that way. Right now, it's more interesting for me than anything because of this because of the Knicks because of the Knicks winning. It actually affects me more emotionally than anyone thinks from the outside. If you don't know me, you would never know that I'm sad a day when the Knicks lose. You would never know why I was sad. And I'm not man enough to admit it. Say if a girl is around and the girl's like, hey, what's going on? I'd be like, I don't know. I'm just not feeling so good today. I'm tired. But in my head, I'm like, motherfucker, the Knicks lost today.
Yeah. Yeah, speaking of that loss, we lost game 2, but you mentioned how we got punched in basically we got punched in the mouth back.
Yeah, listen, give the Cavs credit. I respect that defense. Man, give them credit.
Yeah.
That was a clinic, a scientific clinic on how to play defense.
But they were playing hockey defense, man. Like if there was such thing as a line check or something like that, slamming somebody to the boards, that's essentially what they did to us in that second game.
Well, hello, with the New York Knicks, we could do that too. We used to do that.
Right.
So look at the next couple of games, man. We roughed them up too. So it's fine. Let it. Whoever's gonna outman the next guy is gonna win. Like I said, hustle, heart, and toughness.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, after that first game, we lost by, I think we were losing by as much as 20. We ended up losing the game by 17. But it was about 20 something. But that third game, we was winning by 30 at one point. 30 and change.
That was funny. Yeah.
Yeah. So we not only did we step up and make the adjustments, we came back and did them worse than they did us in the second game.
Punching them in the mouth, responding like that, man. I mean, wow. I'm telling you, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
I did not see that coming. I did not see that coming. And then another win. Did not see that coming. Like,
you know what also you didn't see coming? I bet you didn't see Julius Randle having a bad series and was still winning, right?
Two things about that. Two things about two guys that I have said nothing but negative things about. Barrett and Randle, right? Randle, you want to say it's an injury. I think Tom is saying it's his injury, right? He's like implying that it's his injury. That's what's going on with him, right? I don't know if that's just a cover. I just hate Randle's body language, right? I didn't see him playing this bad, and I know he has a tendency when he misses his shots. You have to see his body language. Look at him on the court. He stops moving. His shoulders are down. He comes forward. He's not a happy person when he's missing his threes, right? I prefer, listen, Randle, you miss a shot, you miss it, that's fine. Continue to try and act like an animal and go to the boards. You're 6'8" and jack. Go grab a rebound. You're 6'8" and jack. Go clog the lane, elbow somebody in the ribs. Go double somebody, one of the big guys down low. Go do something else. If you're not hitting your jump shot, right? Do something else. Pass the ball, draw the double team, pass the ball out, keep your head up. Don't do the spinning junk and all this stuff and then get upset. I have a very big problem with him in this series because of that attitude, right? And then he skips the post-game press conference. Right? Honestly, that shit, it's not good. It's not good to be a leader and do that, right? That doesn't look good to your team. On the other flip side of things, where I was 100% wrong was RJ Barrett, and thank God he proved us all wrong. We thought for a while Barrett can't play.
Yeah.
We were convinced as Knicks fans Barrett can play. 90% of the people on your comments, all these channels that I had looked at their comments, because sometimes I have to do some research. I write for sports, and I wrote a Knicks video, and 90% of the comments say, bench Barrett, bench Barrett. And I said the same thing, like bench Barrett. I don't want him to play out there. He's a negative. He's not a positive. He's a negative.
Right.
I mean, the guy shut everybody up. He was even going right. The guy was even driving right. And fast. Barrett's kind of a slow guy. He was putting the ball down on the right side, going for layups. And Tom always tells him, go hard to the hole. Go like a man to the hole. If you're not hitting the jump shot, go to the hole. And here he is, not only hitting jump shots, but going to the hole like he's been yelled at to do. So kudos to him. There's no one that wanted to tear him down more than me. Really. I had it with him. And man, he's shutting all of us up. He's shutting all the Knicks fans up. And if he continues to do this, then he might have a spot in New York and not get shipped out of here. And his value, and whatever the case, it's good because his value is high. If they want to ship him out of here, we get someone else, whatever. But at this rate, if he's going to play like this, I want him in New York. If he's going to show up to a playoff game like this, I want him in New York, right?
Yeah.
This is the juxtaposition. This is the contrast between Barrett and Randall right now. And I don't know what you want to talk about that. I don't know if you want to add anything about Randall and I mean, listen, man.
You're right on point, man. I agree with everything that you say, man. Like I said, I love to hear you talk because you're basically verbatim, speaking as if you're talking in my head. You're like my conscience,
Bro, I mean, how much does Randall make per year? Well, how much does he make? 30 something?
Not quite. I think everybody's in the 20s. Nobody makes 30 yet.
9, 20, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I saw it. If you want to do endorsements and all that, God knows what he makes per year, right? He's in New York, so he makes a ton more with other stuff. Okay, this is my thing. You got to throw your emotions out the door. You're what's called a professional basketball player. Professional means that you show up to work and you do your best. I don't know what's wrong with him up here. Apparently he meditates. Apparently everything, he does all of the stuff you're supposed to do. He's calm. He says this year he's focused, right? What's wrong with him saying, okay, I'm not hitting my shot. Let me start to play an Anthony Mason or Charles Oakley like role. Right. I'm going to do that. Let me help my team and let it not be all about me. Maybe I can help my team in other ways. But instead, we get a sulking Randall, shoulders forward. And I remember one play, you can go to the tape and you can watch the tape. I don't know. I think it might have been the third quarter before he was benched. Brunson has the ball on the opposite end at the 3-point, around the elbow of the 3-point end. And he's doing his thing. He's doing his isolation thing, trying to break down the defender, what he's very good at. And Randall is standing on the opposite arc of the 3-point, right? Hands down, staring like a little baby boy, staring like, oh, I'm not getting my opportunity. I'm not getting my chance. Mr. Brunson, the guy who came here, is now taking control of the game. Right. I'm not a body language expert, but that was what I saw, right? And if you go in and look at the tape, you're going to see that happen a couple times.
Right.
That has to stop. That just has to stop. I mean, this is a
kudos to Tom Thibodeau, though, because Tom Thibodeau's made those necessary adjustments. He benched him in that fourth quarter. He benched him for Obi Toppin, which was shocking. I think that shocked everybody.
I think and you don't bet. Listen, you ain't benching Randall just because he's missing shots. There's other reasons you're going to bench him, and I think that what I just told you, that emotional stuff I'm talking about, that's why. That was going to cost them the game, Iru. That was going to cost them the game, and he knew it. And thank God for Obi to come in and give those minutes. That was phenomenal.
Yeah, I think he might have played his best minutes as a Knick because I think he had like 8 rebounds or something. But they weren't just bullshit rebounds. He was in there, jumping in there, grabbing rebounds from guys.
I don't know who got into his ear, but man, we were screaming at him to try and grab rebounds because he's so tall, long, and athletic. Guy jumps over. It looks like he touched the top of the backboard. He broke his rebound record. I don't know if you know that. He broke his rebound record in the playoffs.
With 8 rebounds, though, could you imagine that? That shows you how soft and inconsistent he is. That 8 rebounds was him breaking the record. That's crazy too.
Right. Yeah. Like, listen, you start getting that out of an Obi Toppin. It's the sky is the limit. You get some team play from Randall. You get him to come back and just have team play. Forget about the scoring. You just have him play team play, right? You split the minutes between Obi and Randall, and you have Obi do what he's supposed to do and play like that. Even his runouts on the fast breaks, that's typical Obi fashion basketball like that. Yeah, have him do that a couple times. The sky is the limit.
Yeah.
Sky's the limit.
You know, what you're saying about the Anthony Mason thing, I think the Anthony Mason reference is perfect, man.
Yeah,
If guys can show him tape just to
yeah.
show how he can be an effective basketball player by just ball handling and just being just being not necessarily a distributor, but just being like a ball mover and just being a good teammate. Anthony Mason is the perfect player for him to emulate. You know,
I would love that. I would really love that. I would love for him. He has that whole physique to do it. He has the like when he wants to. He has the ability to switch to
right?
do that. And I don't see anything wrong with Randall focusing in on playing defense first rather than the offense. When the offense isn't going, focus on what you can do defensively. But just too many times we see him, unlike Anthony Mason, whose jump shot, if it goes in or not, doesn't matter. Mason's coming back to play D every play.
Right.
Randall, when the jump shot's off, the D is really bad because
Right.
his
Well,
mind is out of it. So we need that to change. We need that to change.
yeah.
Um,
Two plays that I remember. It was in I believe the third game. We needed a key rebound, and he got that key rebound to save the game, I believe.
that was
Towards
big.
the end. Then
That was
also in the fourth game here,
yeah,
it was a key block. Remember that block that he had against I guess it was guard. No, it was against Donovan Mitchell.
Mitchell. Yeah. It
Yeah,
was a very key block, and also he had a offensive N1, which was a key. He finished
right.
with the right spin, finished with the right hand. You remember that?
Yes.
So like it's there. Not gonna pick him apart, but yeah, kudos to Tom Thibodeau for having the balls to take him out.
Yeah, definitely. Well, those moves that we're talking about here are just, like you're saying, they're just few and far between. Like, because he's too busy trying to bang, trying to do all these different moves and trying to impact the game offensively. But like you said, there's so many more different ways to impact the game. So I mean, like in a series like this, like he might not be needed, to get that 30-point game because so far we've been winning without that.
Yeah.
But like you said, being that bully, being that decoy kind of guy, or just
Yes.
being selfless,
Yes.
that's how we're gonna complete the series. You
You
know,
just said it. I didn't even mention that, but the decoy, yeah, that's another angle he could use as the decoy. Draw the double team, pass out. In your head as the ball player, you're going to pass out. You're waiting for the double team, very much like LeBron. LeBron does it really well, right? He
right?
knows he's passing out to the corner. Man, Randall, you could do that. You can do stuff like that. I just wish it. I just hope someone gets in his ear, man. I hope someone gets in his ear, and that money's not wasted. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to need him round two, and in the Eastern Conference Finals. I can't even believe I'm saying that. Can't even believe I'm hearing myself say second round in the Eastern Conference Finals. That's crazy.
But listen, it's not only in your head; it's in my head too. Because I know we got one more game to win, but I'm already looking at the second round already.
We're all rooting. We're all Miami Heat fans right now.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I can't wait to watch the game today. But
No,
like people have been showing clips of Kobe. Kobe was like, they was like, "Hey man, how come you're not smiling?" It's a famous clip. How come you're not smiling? You're up in this series, and Kobe's like, "Well, we're up 2-0. Is the job is not done yet." And I love the fact that Brunson has taken the lead, with the squad too, keeping that same energy, and everybody basically is echoing that energy. You know what I'm saying? So, we could be excited as fans, but it's good to know that our guys have it all together there, where they, as a team, they're able to keep their emotions in check, knowing that they still have stuff to accomplish in this series.
you just said it. You just said it. Um, Brunson has that. Brunson has that grounded foundation. He ain't gonna smile. He ain't joking. He ain't
Yep.
joking, man. He epitomizes the New York Knicks mentality. He's the leader. There's no doubt in my mind. You have him and Josh Hart on the floor, and those two, the energy alone, in terms of the mental energy that they bring to the floor, that's what's winning it for the Knicks because that's contagious. That's like the anti-cancerous energy that wins ball games. And you can thank both of them for the wins primarily. I know everybody's involved. I know it. I get it. Brunson and Josh Hart, for me, are the guys that you trust to get the job done each and every game, no matter what is happening. Their main goal, their main mission, right, is to win not to none of the selfish stuff, none of that. It's about team, team, team. And I can't say enough about Brunson. He's the leader. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
He's the number one guy on this team. And as a Knicks fan, I am so fortunate to call him my point guard.
Yeah. He's gonna set the table for the future as far as like New Yorkers, young players. I mean, young people watching the game. Like we watch Starks and we watch these guys. So now these young guys have Brunson to look at. So I'm that makes me happy thinking about the future of Knicks fans and stuff.
It's a throwback. It's a throwback. Finally, the Knicks fans have something that we had back then that they can look at that is comparable and the same. You put Brunson on that team. You put Josh Hart on those '90s teams. That's the same guys.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Yeah.
There's no difference.
You know what's awesome, bro? Like watching, like being at the Garden and stuff like that. I got to meet Spree.
That's
Spree
amazing.
is cool. You ever met Spree?
I haven't met Spreewell yet. I know he looks like a cool dude. That's
He
all.
is cool, but he's kind of like me and you. Like he's if he has something to say, he just says it.
No, wait, hand up. I did speak to him, but through text, through Instagram we spoke, but not through person. No.
Okay.
No.
But he came to the suite and just to take pictures and stuff. But when he came in there, he was like, "Hey, what's good, guys? Yeah, yo, you want pictures of what, man? Come on, set it up. Let's do this." But just the way that he came across like a real person, kind of thing. And then people were talking to him. So I mentioned a couple things about not a couple that I just mentioned one or two things about the current series and stuff like that. And he just hit me right away, like, yeah, man, because they really believe in this group. They're fans of the group too. They're not just working for the Garden.
Well, we know why. You know why they're fans. Yeah,
why.
It's because it reminds them of them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's so funny that these guys are our heroes. Larry Johnson was on the street too. He was on 7th Avenue also out there jumping around.
No,
Yeah. So what's cool about it is that they're right there with us, and they're shouting out Knicks in 5. But like I'm trying to say, these are our heroes, and our heroes are cheering for the current guys, which is incredible to me.
It's a great time to be a Knicks fan and to be alive. And the generation, if you were lucky enough to be back then, it's so cool to be around the Knicks now. That's so cool that you had a chance to talk to Latrell Sprewell, man. That's really, really that's a privilege. That's a privilege.
Yeah. It's like we came full circle now. Like the needle just came back. Like in the 90s, everyone talks about the 90s. It was a great era. Yeah, like 13 years in the playoffs. Yeah. But now things come full circle now, and here we are. And those same guys from back then are still here, young, vibrant. They're still able to talk and communicate and stuff. And they're right there with us in the trenches, jumping around with us.
That's so cool. That's really, really, really cool, man. Yeah. I know Starks is around all the time. You see him, you see the Johnson around. You see, I always used to see Charles Smith around too, walking around the Garden. He's gigantic. Yeah. You got Latrell there. I wish we had Oakley still, right? He's still bad.
Yeah, me too, man. He's so goofy, man. He like it kind of embarrassed me a little bit because we looked up to him as like the heart and soul of the Knicks, but now he's like a grumpy old man now, and he's almost like he's on menopause or something like that. I don't know what's going on with Oakley.
Something happened there, but getting back like positively, man. That was like kind of. I remember talking to you like years ago. And the things that we would say would always go back to the 90s. We always go back to the 90s. What happened to these guys? What happened to these guys? When you have all these like offensive, little soft people that were playing for the Knicks, right? I don't want to go through all of them, but we would always get these like soft, non-defensive players, right? The stars of the Knicks were soft and all offensive. That's it. Selfish. And finally, we have the right breed of basketball players coming here. And it's really, really, really great to see. Going back to the Cavs and the Knicks now, I am so, let me put this in my phone. Analytics-wise, my friend who's a big gambler, he put a lot of money on the Cavs going all the way in the Eastern Conference to the finals because obviously the payout was well, but he had he rationalized it by looking at very deep analytics of what could happen, right? Of what the Cavs are capable of, right?
Right.
And the Cavs are a supremely dangerous team. Like, you can't say anything about they were a dark horse, and they are, for the Knicks to have them down 3-1 is just a magical thing. We end up putting them away 4-1.
It's going to go down as one of the best series in Knicks history.
Not only that, that puts the league on notice, and it puts the Eastern Conference on notice. And it's like, they're not stupid, these teams. They know who the Cavs are. You beat the Cavs 4-1, there's something going on. There's something going on.
Yeah.
So, you know, mentally, emotionally, the Miami Heat, they become shook. Then Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals, possibly, they become a little shook. And this does matter. All this stuff really does matter. But I mean, as Knicks fans, we're all hoping that Miami wins this series. What's great about, I don't know if you know this, but Tyler Hero is out.
Yeah.
And somebody else, you know?
Oladipo's out.
Tyler Hero and Oladipo are out. And if I'm not right, Miami's up 2-1, correct? Trying to go up 3-1 today?
Yes.
Okay.
And Giannis is back too. Giannis was out with a bad back, and he's back today.
Let's just see what happens. If Miami, like, let's just fantasize. If Miami wins, let's just fantasize. By any stretch of the imagination, we play Miami in the second round. We have home court.
Absolutely.
We know what's going to happen that season by watching what we did in the regular season with Miami. And the way we're playing now, we're playing better now. Okay? I'm picking us to win that series if we play the Heat, which would bring us to, let's just say, Boston. We're hoping Boston.
I'm hoping Boston too, yeah.
Right? Let's just fantasize that the Knicks play Boston. We've seen the Knicks and Boston. We've seen what happens. The Knicks have the Celtics number. Yeah. And the rate that they're playing now, some crazy stuff can happen.
I'm trying to tell you, man. The Boston Celtics sweat against us, man. You know, every time we played against them, they play from a sense of urgency and a sense of fear almost when they play against us. You know, yeah. So things are up a little bit more where the defense is becoming more prominent. You know, because of the playoffs. I feel like the whole playoffs has been more physical in general, and that's right up the Knicks' alley.
Yeah, the refs swallow their whistles. They let things go. The battling for the rebounds, they let that go. Advantage, I say, advantage Knicks. Advantage Knicks in that way. You know, if you look at the regular season and then you bring those games into the playoffs and you see how those games would be officiated in the playoffs. Whoa. I didn't see this coming, but the path, we're getting a little lucky with some injuries and the path that's being cut out for us. Like I said, I think we just have to hope that we don't play the Philadelphia 76ers, who would cause, in my opinion, a very big problem for the Knicks. Whereas the Boston Celtics, it's been proven we can beat them.
Right. So, I mean, you know, let me get into the chat really quick because there's quite a few people I see in the chat that agree with us. Shout out to Jay Boogie. I'm not sure if you know who Jay Boogie is. He got basically his nickname from Knicks Fan TV. They call him the closer, because he used to call in and he used to give like these long, you know, like spirited, finishing quotes and stuff. So he's excellent, man. He's a musician and stuff like that. You know, so he actually had one of his songs played in the Garden in the last 2 games.
That's awesome.
3 and 4, yeah.
Some good crowd on your stuff.
I'm trying to tell you, man. So he was saying that too. He was saying that he could see a path to us getting to the finals. I was saying that as well. I put out a short recently, you know, painting out that same picture that you painted out. So you're not alone, man. Everybody's starting to really believe it. Even some of these sportscasters are starting to believe it too. You know, the way that they're changing their stance on the Knicks and stuff. You know,
no, you see them starting to change their tone, just like they're changing their tone a little bit on the Warriors in the West. You know, I called the Warriors in the West before any of this shit, before anything. I said that's a champion team. The way they play ball, they don't play ball like any other team. That's it. They're a different animal. The Warriors are a different heart animal. The way that they play, don't ever tell me that the Warriors don't have a shot. And the whole media said, oh, they don't win on the road. Get the hell out of here. I called that from the very beginning. And now the media is switching their tone on the Knicks. And they love to do that. It's like they all copy each other's commentary. It's to me,
It's a shame. Isn't it a shame?
yeah. If one guy says it, the other guy, no one has their own mind. It's very, very weird to me.
Well, it comes from a soulless place because I mean, like, well, shout out to De La Music real quick. He said he's crying tears of joy. He just, basically, De La Music. He sat right next to me during the game yesterday, and I
Nice.
also sat next to another guy, Francisco Carrillo. We sat next to each other. We were basically saying the same things you're saying. You know what I'm saying. Hit the guys on first. Be strong, defensive, and everything that you're saying.
No, he's
Yeah,
smart.
yeah. So what I'm trying to say is that these sportscasters and everybody else outside of New York, they come from a soulless place. All they doing is regurgitating the same takes over and over, just like you said. But with us, we're on such a wave that you're saying stuff that's in my head.
Yeah,
You're saying stuff that people that you don't even know are in this world. We're all saying the same thing. We all have the same feeling. So I really believe in energies and wavelengths and stuff like that. And I feel like the Knicks and the fans and everybody on this wavelength right now, where we're all connected on some Voltron shit, man.
no,
And it feels fantastic, man.
I know my Knicks fan friends, man, they're even on the positive. They are very, very, very positive in the way that they're thinking. And even when I say something negative at TV, they'll be like, "Listen, positivity." I go, "There's a 3-second delay on the TV. I'm not affecting that shot. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke." But everybody is on the right with the real fans. They're on the right wavelength. They know the capability of this team. And we haven't seen everybody play well in one game. Can you imagine from Randall to Brunson to Grimes? By the way, Grimes didn't play. To Grimes to quickly.
Quickly hasn't showed up.
Listen, of all of those guys, if everyone from number 1 to Harkenstein, if everyone from 1 to Harkenstein played well, McBride. If everyone plays well, you tell me the ceiling of the Knicks. You tell me. I don't have to tell you. You know
We all feel the same thing, same vibe, man.
We almost have 2 starting fives the way that we play. We almost have two sets of teams. That's how good we are.
Yeah. I think that's what the people in the second round and just in the playoffs in general, that's what they're afraid of, because everything that's gone well with the Knicks, we haven't done it yet in this series, and we're basically dominating this Cleveland Cavaliers team. The thing about the Cleveland Cavaliers is they're basically they're probably top 3 defensive in the league, possibly the best defensive team in the entire league. And look what we're doing to them. So the defense is gonna, playing against us is gonna get worse, as time goes on. Guys are not gonna be as powerful as the Cleveland Cavaliers are. So it's gonna be easy for us. So I can see us going to Miami, but Miami plays good defense too. But I can see us going to Miami and quickly waking up and Julius waking up. And then, I can see us blowing through them too.
Me too. That's the only thing we can hope for, is that everybody comes together at the right time. And I hate to say it, but going back to the Warriors, right? The Warriors have been similar to the Knicks, and whereas like people have been out, people have been injured, nobody's been on the floor at the same time. Some people aren't playing well. Then other guy, it's like that. What happens when the Warriors start playing? When they all play well, you ain't beating that team. Sorry, I don't care who you are in the West. You're not beating the Warriors. So it's like with the Knicks. I know I don't want to compare them, but that is kind of the same rationale I have with New York. Who you beating? Who's beating them when all of those guys show up? Who's beating them when all of those guys are showing up and playing as a team? Last game, quickly, did he score?
I'm not even sure. Let me check it now. I'm looking at the stats here.
Listen, Eero, I'm pretty sure 0 field goals.
0 points. Yeah, he was 0 for 4.
Okay. Let me ask you another question. Did Grimes play?
He didn't play at all.
Yeah, okay. 0, 0, 0. Okay. Let me ask you another question. How much did Randall score?
Randall, he scored 7 points. 7 points, 2 rebounds.
Okay. And you still won.
we whipped them. That's what that's about.
All right. Now, you look at the rebounding differential and you look at the defensive schemes. The Knicks are a dangerous team.
17 offensive rebounds in the last game, man.
Again, all that, you know what that is? That's just hustle and heart. That's all that is. That's Mitch. That's Hartenstein. That's Obi. That's all those. Josh Hart. Let's not forget him. That's
Yeah.
all those guys crashing the board when the ball goes up and not just looking at it, dilly dallying. You know, this is how basketball was meant to be played, and they're doing it, man. It's a very exciting thing. That's all I
Yeah.
could say. You said Giannis is playing tonight versus the Miami Heat?
Yeah, they say he's playing, but he has a back injury, and this is an injury that he's had in the past too. So he's aggravated this thing. So it's possible that the Miami Heat could rattle him and mess him up. So even if Giannis and these guys get to the second round,
Yeah.
Giannis might not make it past us. If Miami beats him up and then he plays against us, he
Yeah.
might not be as effective either. You know what I'm saying? So
Just obviously we're not rooting for the injury or whatever, but I mean, damn, does that open up a door? That just opens up a door. It opens up both doors versus the Bucks or versus the Heat. It opens up the door.
yeah,
'Cause what, you know, I in the East, I picked the Bucks coming out of the East this year with a healthy Giannis because their whole team is just their roster is incredible. It's gem built, but with what's going on right now, I mean, it would be fantastic to see a hobbled Bucks team versus a full strength Knicks team. I can see weird things happening,
yeah,
and I can see weird things happening, and you know what those things are. You know what they are,
yeah.
and I don't want to say it yet, but we have a path. As Jim Carrey says, there is a chance.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, a lot of championship teams have had like shaky opponents. You can even go to Jordan's first championship. Once
Yeah,
they made it to the finals, that Lakers team was diminished.
yeah, yeah,
Worthy got hurt in the playoffs. They already had lost a bunch of other players, so they had a shell of a team going against Jordan, and they were able to sail in and get the championships and stuff like that. But
yeah,
you could point to every run that Jordan had. There's always something that went into their favor, along the way.
right.
So that happens for every team, that wins.
I have this for 11, and also I've seen it happen for LeBron too. LeBron got lucky a lot with those injuries. LeBron's like the king of getting lucky with those running into teams to get lucky and getting lucky with those injuries.
This too, just the whole decision thing.
Yeah,
The entire league diminished their whole rosters just for the opportunity to sign one of those guys,
yeah.
and Miami Heat signed three of them.
I'm
So I think that it was the Indiana Pacers, the Knicks, basically all the top teams, gutted their entire roster, so there was no teams.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
so they had a nice easy path to the finals, and then but the Dallas Mavericks destroyed them with Dirk.
yeah,
You know,
yeah. That was crazy. That was 2011, right?
yeah, time flies, man.
That was insane. That was insane. I was like I don't like LeBron, so seeing that, I was so happy.
Yeah, me too.
I was so happy.
Yeah, and he was trolling us too. Remember, he was going to the Yankees games with the Yankees hats and stuff like that, and
Yeah,
looking at property. He was looking at real estate and stuff like that at the time. He was really trolling us, man. So
yeah, yeah. It all comes back around. He ain't winning another championship. It all comes back around.
yeah. Well, one key word I got circled here on my paper here, initiative, man. The Knicks, if they want to continue to go along this path here, they have to take the initiative. And like we were saying with Brunson and Josh Hart doesn't just wait for the rebound to come to him. He goes and gets the rebound. He throws his body in there and he gets the rebound.
Yeah,
And then that has trickled down into Hart. I Hart, this guy Hartenstein or whatever. He's been doing the same thing, jumping into spaces, getting rebounds, and it's contagious all around. So I work around teams at work. In my day job, we usually have like little crews, we work together and stuff like that. So how we get ourselves in trouble is when something that needs to be taken care of, nobody takes care of it because nobody gives a shit. And that blows everything to shit, and then we all get in trouble. But in order for us to be successful, in order for us to get the breaks and get the benefits that we looking for throughout the day, to take it easy, guys got to take the initiative to stop the fire, to stop the problem when it's happening. That way it doesn't just destroy the whole day. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the Knicks have to do.
but it's throwing the first punch. That's what it is. It's throwing the first punch and preventing preventing the catastrophic things from happening and taking the initiative to jump to the ball, right? Jump to the ball, hit the man, jump to the ball. Josh Hart, you want a reason why they were so good since he came? That's the reason. That's the reason.
Absolutely.
That's the reason. It's contagious. That's contagious. Like you said, you took the words right out of my brain. You see the guys doing it. Mitchell Robinson, you see him doing it. You see Hart doing it. You see a bunch of these guys. It's unbelievable. It really is. He's wearing off on the guys. Brunson too. Brunson's a no nonsense dude. He might be small, but he's a tough mofo. He's as tough as they come. He's as tough as they come. I watch him very closely, and damn, I'm so proud he's a New York Knick. I'm so proud.
Check out this comment here. This is Kid Funkadelic, number 77 here. He's talking about the first championship team. We talked about this too last time we spoke. With the old Knicks and stuff. They had 7 guys that played in double figures. So they were famous for moving the ball, finding the open man, taking the jump shot, making the initiative on defense, playing hard and just playing for each other. And I feel like this Knicks team has those characteristics of what it is to play New York Knicks style basketball.
They do. That's a great. What I'm reading there is a great statistic.
Yeah.
7 players, double figures. That is very similar to this balanced attack where you could have a different high score or second or third highest score every night, right? It's balanced. Who has it tonight? Maybe 3 guys have it tonight, and another 3 have it another night. But the ball is moving. And at the beginning of the series, when me and you spoke, you were like, "Who's gonna win? What's the key?" And I said, "If the ball moves, right?" Because I thought Randall was going to be out, so I was like, "Oh, the ball's going to move, and this team's going to win. If Randall's out, the ball moves, they're going to win." That was my prediction. And right now, the ball is moving, and that's fan. I'm okay with one guy holding the ball and isolating. There's a reason for it, and that's Brunson. He is so talented that he can hold on to the ball for 15 seconds, break down his defender, pivot with that footwork, fade back, shoot, or go in for like a little teardrop layup. He's that good. So you have to afford him that opportunity. And sometimes when he gets double, just pass it out for 3. My only concern as a Knicks fan, is if we have a tendency to leave in our defensive scheme. We're great at clogging the middle, doubling. We're great at cutting passing lanes, but we are vulnerable to threes in the corner, and we're vulnerable to threes on the wing, right? And if some of those players on the other team, whether it be the Cavs or the Heat or the Bucks next round, if those guys are knocking down threes from those spots, right, then you have to change that effective defensive scheme that we have.
Right.
And then when we change it, are we as effective? So that would be my number one fear. What would be your number one fear going forward?
Exactly the same thing. The Milwaukee Bucks. That's why I don't want to see them, because they have maybe 5 or 6 guys that they're all shooting 5 and more threes per game. Some of these guys are making two 3-pointers a game. So that's dangerous for us. One thing about the scheme also too, we tend to have guys standing in the paint for no reason. Standing in the paint and watching, and then when they have to recover, they have to run all the way from basically the opposite baseline all the way to the 3-point line. That kills me, man. So that's going to be the death of us if we can get at least not do those runouts, at least close out the gap on these shooters. That's going to be the death of us if we can't do that.
Yeah, you got to be quick. You have to be quick to close out. You have to be really, really quick. That means you got to be up on your A game, ready to go, know your scheme, know where you have to be, know your spots, know where the shooters on the other team are going to be, run them off the line after you stop whatever penetration you have in rotation. The rotation's over, have to be solid. And thank God we have Thibodeau for that. And I hope they do a lot better with it now in the playoffs than they do than they were in the regular season of running the guys off the line. That's my number one fear going forward.
Yeah, definitely. My man here, he said this is what is this? Knicks are nice. He said Knicks should build a wall on the Bucks.
Yeah,
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 yeah. The Knicks do a good job of sealing off Giannis. You know,
yeah.
they
That's
make
not a
him.
problem for them.
Yeah, but the problem is, as soon as Giannis gets to that foul line, he's able to hit the corner. So
That's
if
the
the Knicks,
problem.
yeah, like we're saying, if the Knicks can close that gap, then but they have to prove it though. They have to prove it once
Yeah,
it happens.
yeah. I mean, if there's any team that can build a wall on the Bucks, it's the Knicks. It's
Yeah,
just that's kind of what they're doing that right now with the Cavs. I mean, they're cutting those drives off like, and I'm impressed because I'm a defense guy. I'm impressed with what they're doing. I
yeah,
mean, it's just like I was like it was a clinic for the Cavs the second game, and then the Knicks are taking it to where the Cavs did, but at an even higher level.
right.
So I'm very, very, very impressed. And
The word "shook" jumps at me. I think you said it a couple times too. The word "shook,"
yeah,
because these guys, they are getting shots, but they're so frantic because they're trying to get the ball into the right spot. They're trying to make the right play, and the Knicks are always in their face. So
yes,
when the shot does come, they're shook. They're like, "Damn, I
yeah,
gotta make this shot now,"
yes,
and then they
yes.
miss it. They miss it just out of the anxiety.
Yeah, Levert is one of the only guys that kind of is stable and just knocks it down and is calm all the time. Levert,
Yeah,
he's going to be a big problem for the next game or two. Watch him.
right.
He's going to be a big problem. And I hope Tom Thibodeau is telling the Knicks, like, listen, better jump on this mofo. You better jump out on him
Yeah,
because he has a tendency to knock it down, and he don't care about the Garden crowd. He doesn't. He's one of the only dudes that is like laser focused. You can see he's calm as hell out there.
yeah,
Um, but let's just go with positive. And positive is we shut down Donovan Mitchell in the second half. Shut him down. I know Garland had his way and he almost brought them all the way back to win the game, but man, we're shutting down their number one phenom. I mean, Mitchell is no joke. And the fact it's like shutting down a young Jordan. I know he's not Jordan, but
right.
the
A young
athleticism
Jordan.
and the ability to shoot
Mhm.
off the dribble, you're shutting that down. You're
Yeah,
shutting down the drives to the rim. God, I mean, I'm almost okay with Garland getting off as long as we limit Mitchell and the other guys aren't going off with threes, right? I'm
right.
okay with it. I'm okay. Maybe Garland can get his, but like, man, it's something that we're actually stopping Donovan Mitchell. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I didn't think that was gonna happen. I thought Donovan Mitchell was gonna get 40, 30 to 40 every night. That's what I thought. Just but the series has proven us wrong, man. One thing I want to say too, with that Garland thing, Garland did bring us back. Did bring them back in the third quarter a little bit. They
Yeah,
got the lead and stuff. But
yeah,
when it was happening, like it was as if it was like a blip because I didn't believe it. It was happening, but it wasn't something that I was afraid of when it was happening. I felt like, yo, the Knicks could stop this anytime they want to, and
right,
then they did. They eventually just woke up and they just stopped with what he was doing, and
right.
then the game was over.
Right. He saw a little opening what he could do, Garland, and he adjusted and he started to really play. He started to really play. And then the Knicks saw it. All right, well, we're gonna cut that off, right? We'll,
Yeah,
we'll cut that off. So it was like it's a game of adjustments, man. It's a game of adjustments in game and then game to game. And whoever does it better, obviously the Knicks are doing it better. They're out coaching. Tom is out coaching.
yeah,
Um, we just hope that Mitchell continues to struggle against this defense that is doubling the shit out of him and also
yeah.
recovering. They're throwing guys. They're like as soon as he puts the ball on the floor, dribbling to the elbow, they got some other guy running at him, and they're recovering. They're recovering really well. I mean, just the rotations and. I just hope it continues to go this way.
Yeah, no doubt. Here's some bad news though. Somebody in the chat popped this in here. I saw it on the side here. Marketing won most improved player.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
over Jalen Brunson.
ah, that's tough. That's
Yeah,
that's tough. That's really, really, really tough. I listen. I think it's Jalen Brunson because the fact that he didn't even get an All-Star ballot.
Right.
Give him some. I thought maybe give him a consolation prize of giving him the most improved
Right.
because he's obviously an All-Star. The guy's possibly All NBA. He's playing All NBA right now.
Could you imagine him getting all NBA nod without being an all-star? I think it's happened before though.
It has.
I think it's happened in the NBA before where the person didn't make the all-star team, but they made the all NBA team. I think it's happened before. But
I mean,
that's crazy though.
he's playing that level. He's playing that level. But yeah, marketing, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah. There's a couple other things too in the news. The old coach from Boston, he's gonna go sign with Houston.
Ooh, okay. So he's getting a chance. He's a good coach. I'll give him that. He's a damn good coach.
Yeah, but that team is super young, man. So, but he's one of those guys. I think he can get the respect of that club. But the only reason why I'm mentioning it because there was once upon a time where the Knicks were like this. The Knicks had a bunch of young snot-nosed kids that didn't know how to play. That was fooling around and stuff like that. And then we had these coaches like Larry Brown and we had Lenny Wilkins and all these different coaches and stuff like that. They were basically babysitting all throughout those years.
Yeah.
Yeah. And look now, we're watching in Houston, and now we can not necessarily laugh at them, but like you're doing now, it's like a smirk because I look at his shit. I remember that. I remember those days.
It looks very familiar.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Udoka almost had the job with the Nets, as you know.
Yeah, definitely.
And what would man, I just thought in my head, first time I ever thought about it. If he had the job, if he did get the job in the net with the Nets, would Kyrie and Durant would they have broken up?
I don't know.
Me either. I just thought about that.
Yeah.
So that could have possibly caused the breakup. That's crazy to think about now. Now I'm thinking about that. I do think Udoka was a better coach than the new Celtics coach. I don't know. I forget his name, but
Yeah.
I think he's better.
Yeah, I think so too. I think once they advance and whatever, I think he'll get exposed at some point.
Yeah.
And they'll probably make some changes.
A much better roster. They have a definitely improved roster this year, Boston.
Yeah.
But the coaching isn't as good.
Right. Here's another story here too. This DeJounte Murray from he was from San Antonio. He's on Atlanta now. He got suspended one game from basically bumping a ref. Did you see that play?
No.
The game was over. The guys were walking off the court, and he decided, I guess frustrated through the game, he just attacked the ref, and he kind of got too close to the ref, and he bumped him a little bit, so he got suspended for one game. But he's been doing. Well, how guys they like to get in guys' faces and do that jumping thing,
If it's not, it's a playoffs right now. The Atlanta Hawks need DeJounte Murray.
Right.
I don't agree with that. I have to see the tape, but I didn't know that.
Right. But he's been doing that type of thing all year, So, and also he was on the list where a lot of I was one of the guys that actually wanted DeJounte Murray on the team because I thought he was a different kind of player. I thought he was like,
He's a hard.
Yeah, I thought he was hard nosed. I thought he was tougher. I thought he was a little bit more mature. But this year he's been showing a lot of immaturity in this game, and this is the icing on the cake here.
Yeah. Well, he was doing. Remember, he was doing a lot of that crazy shit in the preseason. Remember, all bouncing the ball, and the guy said, so that might have been a little preamble to this. So teams might not want to touch him now with all that's going on. But I don't know. Shame on the league if they did suspend him for a playoff game, and that bump was not intentional. If it is intentional, he deserves it. If it was intentional, he deserves it. If it wasn't intentional, it's a bad call.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah, I don't think it was intentional though. It was like it's. I don't think he meant to do it, but he was really close and he did it. So.
Yeah, I don't agree with. I don't agree with stuff like that. I think it's just stupid. Yeah. NBA gotta just relax sometimes.
Right. But once upon a time, this was a Knicks problem.
Yeah.
This was a Knicks kind of problem. We had guys on the roster that would do stupid things like this.
You gotta relax. Yeah. Though, that used to follow the Knicks around. And remember the stupid incident? I was at the game in Miami, the playoff game. Remember when Amari punched the damn fire extinguisher? I was there.
Oh my God!
I didn't even know what happened. I had to read it. After the game. I'm like, are you kidding me? This idiot that makes $100 million. I think it was $100 million at the time. This idiot is in a playoff game and breaks his hand on a playoff. a fire extinguisher.
Yeah.
Like,
We absolutely needed him too, you know, and he wasn't playing well too on top of that. So
yeah,
it just was like insult to injury with that.
yeah, I remember. Yeah, the Knicks would get all guys like that, and thankfully that's being phased out right now. Hopefully, Randall doesn't do any of that stuff anymore in the playoffs. He's been good so far, other than the thing that we talked about, the bad play, but in terms of like the stupid technicals, he's been okay.
Right. Well, this is something I mentioned to you before we started. De'Aaron Fox broke his hand, man.
Yeah,
Fractured his index finger. So
crazy. That's their whole chance right there. That's it. I'll say it on your show right now. The Warriors just won the series. That's it. It's over. It is over.
I'm with you. And De'Aaron Fox, I think, just won Clutch Player of the Year too. So he definitely has the resume. Guys believe in him. They think he's a good player. And him breaking his index finger on his shooting hand,
Yeah,
that's huge right there.
that's it. Is it? But is he? Oh, it says he will be listed as doubtful.
Right.
Yeah, you can't really shoot. You can't really shoot with a broken finger. At least
Well,
I don't think he could.
well, unless you're Kobe Bryant. Remember that time Kobe Bryant had a broken hand and he was still dunking with that hand? He was,
Well,
yeah.
well, let's go. Kobe and Michael, both
Right.
of them did it. Both of them did it.
Yeah.
Michael cut his finger with a cigar. At least that's the story. I don't know if
Right.
you want to believe it, but yeah, he cut his shooting hand finger with a cigar cutter.
Yeah.
I think it was during the finals, and he wound up playing great with it. But that's Kobe and MJ. Let's see if De'Aaron Fox could do it.
Yeah, definitely.
But if he's playing like crap, there's no shot.
Yeah. Let me show this real quick, and I guess we could wrap it up, man. 'Cause we definitely, we touched on some good stuff, man. You got to get a lot of bars off, man. Like I said, a lot of people have been asking about you, man. They say, hey, man, you need to do another one with Luis, man. You guys rock pretty good here. But
Thank you. Man. Yeah, I know. I think we got really, really good chemistry. We think alike as well, man. We think alike.
yeah. And then listen, I gotta play the good guy. Because usually I'm the one that's popping off, but you're the bad guy, so I gotta let you get your stuff off, and I gotta play the straight man, so you can get your stuff off,
Yeah, I'm always that right now, but I'm a happy bad guy.
Yeah, I know, man. You're one of the good ones, man. So this is Della. He gave like a super chat here, so he's always So I just want to make sure that he gets the acknowledgement for that.
Great. Yeah, this is a guy that was sitting next to you, right?
Yeah, Della Music. Yeah, he's an older gentleman, man, but super dope, man. Super intelligent. Everybody's cut from the same cloth. These Knicks fans, man. Everybody's the same mentality. Nobody's complaining about something different. Everybody's on the same page, looking at the same game. So it's a lot of fun. This
Yeah.
thing.
Comment on this one. On that. What's his first name again? What's his first name?
Well, to tell you the truth, I can't remember his real name, but his name is Della Music 50. That's who he is.
Music 50. Let me tell you something. I had season tickets to the Knicks for 3 years, and during the Melo and Amari day, and let me tell you, I was dumbfounded. I don't know the reason why, but at the Garden, the Knicks got so it was always like 70-30. The Knicks got 30% of the positive calls, 70% negative. I don't know what the reason is. I can't tell you. I do know there's like a guy I remember at the games I was at. There's a guy, Zach Barba. He must hate the Knicks. I don't know what is up with this dude. But I knew my refs. I knew them by face, maybe not by name, but I knew. So when I showed up to the game and I saw the ref, I said the Knicks ain't winning. And they never did. And I don't know what the hell that's about. I don't know. I do know that they get the short end of the stick. If it is a 50-50 call, the Knicks don't get it. It's always the other team.
Right.
Especially if it's at the Garden.
Yeah, you're right. Game 2, we lost game 2. The crew that was in game 2 is notorious. The referees that every time Julius Randle had a blow up, one of those refs, if not all of those refs, were reffing that game. Isn't that crazy? The last big blow up, I believe 2 of those refs were reffing that game. So it's a setup.
I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, but man, I can't. Yeah, I get really upset with these calls. And my friends, we all know everybody's the same page. Everybody knows. Yeah. It's a weird thing. Is it against Dolan? Is it against what is it? what is it against?
I
What
think
is
it's against us. You know, they hate to see us happy, man. Yeah, they hate to see Knicks fans getting what they want. They just hate New York in general. The whole aura of being a New Yorker. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, you're different than me. I'm different than you. But there's still like a baseline for every
yeah,
New Yorker. You know that the foundation of every New Yorker is basically the same. And I just think like not around the world, but just around the country, people are really envious of that, man.
it's
You
really
know?
interesting that you say that. That's probably
Yeah.
a video that's never been done before. So it's a good idea for a video.
Yeah, we'll do that. There's a couple people that want to do that. You know, that I spoke to. But they want me to. Everybody wants to see me stressed out. They want to see me going crazy on the mic and stuff like that. But I'm trying to keep my pressure down and stuff.
Well, big tech, media, all this stuff. They'll find a way to suppress NBA conglomeration. Every one of these corporations finds a way to influence big tech to where even if you made that video and it was the best analytic video of all time, it would have like 100 views because
Right,
it's all that stuff is suppressed. All that stuff. Like if you say, "Hey, I think LeBron James uses juice or whatever," and you give some evidence or whatever, the video has 90 views. It's like
right.
it's crazy how big tech will just censor stuff that goes against the narrative of what the NBA wants you to know and wants you to feel. It's really nuts, man.
Yeah,
It's nuts. It's nuts.
it's a real thing. Absolutely.
Yeah, you
Well,
can't have real opinion. You can't say the real thing. You can't have, you can't say the thing against the machine. You can't do it. It just flows right into what we were talking about the Knicks and that grand like conspiracy to hate and to keep the Knicks down. I'm not saying they like mess up the ping pong balls in the draft. I'm not going that far to say that, right? I know I got friends though that will say that. I have
right,
some friends. I have some Knicks fans that say that,
right.
but I'm not that extreme. I am a hater of how the bigger machine works and how it keeps certain groups or certain, let's say in our case, teams down. I don't like that.
Yeah, me either, man. Well, this is one thing that they can't stop. They can't stop the energy in the garden. They can't stop Nick fans.
That's right.
This is John Starks dapping up Brunson. You see Brunson's face? He
Yeah,
looks like John Starks back in the days.
you
John
know,
Starks looks like me and you.
I'm like, when I saw that, I got the goosebumps. I saw that, I got
Yeah.
goosebumps, man.
Here's another one here. Same game here. You got Barrett coming in dapping up Larry Johnson.
Yeah,
You know,
that's. I saw Barrett with Johnson. I saw Spike go up to Barrett and like going crazy in Barrett's face, like telling him, "That's the way you gotta play. That's the way you gotta play." This all gives me chills, man. It's
yeah,
the Knicks, generation to generation.
yeah, man. So just to conclude the pod, they can't stop it. You know, when
Yeah,
when something is happening in this way, and the energy and the power that you can see right before your eyes, and we all feel it. All
yeah.
of us feel it, that this has to be some constant within this. You know what I'm saying. So it has to be some truth to it. And I feel like there really is something special happening with this group, even though through the flaws and stuff like that. I think just the entire mix of it all. I think we're seriously onto something. A lot of people saying next year, or 3 years from now, 2 years from now. I think we need to take a look at what's happening now and really believe what we're looking at, and think that we can actually, like I said, fall through the cracks and get to where we want to go this year.
I know. I hope we go back to this podcast and I hope we look like geniuses. That's right. Because I mean, not to just wipe out this year, but I know next year will be better. There's no doubt, no
Yeah,
matter what, because you're going to make a move. We're going to make a move. There's going to be another move made, right? That we know that we have the assets. There's going to be a move, so
yep,
we're going to be a better team. Like Boston. Boston was a finals team. They got better this year because they added some guys, right?
right,
Well, the Knicks are going to get better as well. So we know we're going to be better, but we shouldn't overlook the craziness that is about to and possibly can happen right
right.
now. So let's keep those good energy vibes for the Knicks and continue this special collective collective thing we have going on, man. And sacred garden energy, man. Let's keep that going.
Yeah, no doubt. So, we'll wrap it up from here. But I just want to shout out my man Matthew here. This is a guy here. He's been in the chat here and there, but we exchanged numbers at the other game, and we're gonna make it a habit to try to link up with each other during games and stuff. So that's a positive message there that I'm giving you. But I got to slide down to my man here. This is Mr. State here. So he comes in. Why are we talking about trades? Why?
No, what are you talking about? Listen. You can always improve a team, right? We can always improve a team. Let's just say, I'm not talking about a trade right now. I'm just saying, right? I'm just saying, if Randall proves to be a little wishy-washy, right? You move him. That's all. That's all. Guys like that, and you make the team better. That's all. You just make the team better. But I'm not saying a trade. Listen, I want this Knicks team to be together, right? And if a guy like Randall or someone else is going to make the guys leave, like I think I told in the last podcast, there's a guy in the Knicks that plans on leaving, and a big reason is because of Randall.
Right.
There's a young guy that we all love, and that's why you make a move, because you want to see the team stay together, right? You want everybody to like each other. It's not negative. We don't have to talk trades. We're not talking trades. But like, let's just say this: we keep the team together. The Knicks stay together next year. Everybody's here. Well, something that you cannot tell me that you wouldn't do. We have draft assets. Imagine taking almost all of the, let's say 5 draft picks and flip them for another player, another 3-and-D player, a tier 1 guy who could shoot the 3 and play defense, and you add him to this team. Talking trades.
Yeah, that's really all we truthfully, keeping it realistic, that's basically all we need to do, really, to tell you the truth.
That's it. This team's going to get better and better because they're young. They're young. We ain't talking about a 35-year-old team. This is a young 20s team.
Yeah. And I got to point out too, man, we only started talking about trades until he came in there, because we haven't mentioned trades much this whole pod up until he came in and I mentioned it.
Yeah.
So that's Mr. State here. So State is the guy that I got to get you on here with, just so I can see what it's going to be a social experiment.
I would love to go head to head with State. State, I'm waiting for you.
Okay, man. You gotta, yeah. But State is cool, man. State, he used to not used to, but he was we had a little combo. We called ourselves Die Hard State of Mind. So we did a bunch of pods together throughout the years and stuff. So he's doing his thing. So we'll get back with each other soon, man. So that's I'm really excited for that. Whenever we can find the time to do that, we'll do that.
State's a Knicks fan. He's good with me.
Yeah. Everybody that pops in here, man, we're all on the same page. There might be a little other things that we all have our little things, like let's say like Julius. Somebody doesn't like Julius. Somebody doesn't like Randall. I don't like Mitch. Everybody has their reasons for it. But right now, when it comes down to what we're trying to do here, I can get past the flaws because the collective unit together is, it outweighs all that bullshit that we were doing all season.
You want to see something? Let me leave you with something really funny. You want to see something really funny? Go to YouTube and watch the post-game press conference. Watch Mitch Robinson. That's all.
Yeah, he's hilarious, man.
That's all I'll tell you. That's all I'm saying. Just keep your eye on Mitch. Mitch does it with someone else. I forget who's in the shot with him. It's 2 guys. It's Mitch and someone else. I forgot who the guy is. But watch Mitch. He's hilarious.
Yeah, he's a funny dude. But I mean, he's supposed to be an enforcer, man. He's not supposed to be a stand-up comedian. He's supposed to be the guy, So that's what drives me crazy about him,
That just watch his movements. It's funny. I don't know how someone doesn't do a video on this. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
But big time bang up to Mitch for playing the way he did. Without Mitch Robinson, we might not win the game.
Yeah.
Last game. So you might not like him. Somebody might not. He was very responsible for the win last night. So, man, he deserves credit. What a monster. He played like a monster.
Yeah. Everybody had their time to shine.
Yeah.
Even Julius. Julius didn't really play too well, but he had his little moment where he contributed to the game. But, hats tipped off to Tom Thibodeau because they took out Mitch because Mitch started floundering, and they put Hartenstein in. And then when Hartenstein started to get little trouble, then he put Mitch back in. So, everybody's going to be needed. All hands is on deck, and And if guys can continue to play hard, that's all we need. All they need to do is match the effort, not match the effort, but just play as hard as they can. And like I said, sky's the limit for this group, man. Definitely.
That's right. We're still waiting for everybody to be at their A game, and let's look at that next team. Let's look at what happens with that next team.
Definitely. So realistic, man. This is the last point for the thing. Realistically, when do you think we're gonna win? Do you think we're gonna win the next game, or you don't even want to talk about that really?
I put it at 50-50. The next game 50-50, and then in the Garden we win it at 100%.
I'm with that too. Yeah,
99.9% the Garden, we're winning it. But next Cavs game is in Cleveland, 50-50. I got it at 50-50. You?
I'm right on the same lines with you. It's gonna be a fist fight. We're gonna go back and forth. This series is basically like a Rocky movie, man.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so I think it's gonna be back and forth. I think on our end, I feel like we killed Apollo on their side. You know what I'm saying? So they have to be the guys, in the barn, lifting wood and chopping wood and stuff. They're the ones that got to do that. If they don't, the Knicks or Drago, we're gonna freaking break. We're gonna break them.
That's great. Great parallel. By the way, my favorite movie of all time, Rocky IV. My favorite movie of all time. That and The Last Dragon. If you're Knicks fans out there, I know a lot of you know The Last Dragon. So I love The Last Dragon and Rocky IV.
Yep, they're gonna need some Bruce Lee where the Cavaliers, right? They're gonna have to start catching bullets with their teeth to stop the Knicks.
You know the reference. You know the reference.
Yeah, man. So, man, this is my man Luis Spoletta, man. I mean, he showed so much love for this channel and everything I've been doing, especially before YouTube when I was doing audio stuff, man. The guy's been showing me so much love, up until this point, man. It's great that we finally started doing these pods together here. So, I definitely welcome to come back again. Maybe once a week if you want to.
Yeah, dude,
if you're not busy.
I would love to. Once a week, I would love to. I really enjoy talking about the Knicks.
Yeah, no doubt, man. So we can make it happen. Just scheduling and stuff like that. If we can make it happen, because my man is this guy here is gonna be a star one day, man. He's already. I'm telling you. Most of the people that I speak to, I don't speak to people that I don't perceive them as like stars. I'm looking at you, man. I think the sky's the limit for whatever you have in your mind and your dream. I feel like it's gonna happen for you, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So just don't be surprised if you see this guy, doing something big down the line, man. Definitely.
Ooh, thank you. You're my new agent. Thank you.
Word up, man.
All right,
man. I'll see you soon. Thanks for coming in here, man. Thanks to chat for the chat. Usually I pop in with the chat, but they've been engaged with the conversation here. So, listen, guys, if you guys enjoyed the conversation, you enjoy hearing Luis and stuff, please share it for me, man. Hit the like on the way out, and I'll catch you guys next time, man. Thanks, Luis.
Mike, you make Eru go by liking and subscribing. Do what you do. We love you as Knicks fans, and we're gonna see you next time. Go New York, go New York, go.
Yeah. Bye.
Eru, I see you. Die hard. Trav. We gonna do this one the right way. We in here forever. Yeah. Die hard, homie, die hard. You can check the swag, he the realest by far. Swimming in that blue and orange, he the lifeguard. Yeah, he been through pain, at least he got some nice scars. He can smell the trophy, yeah, you need it back to back. Represent himself, his own name is on his back. 10 toes down, try to stop him, he come back. Bandwagon hoppers, he will knock you off your tracks. You ain't saying nothing, Nero been here from the start. He been working in the lab to take his team and make it art. See him going over film to help him build and make him smart. He will tell you how he feels because he's real and he got heart. He will never fade away, he will never change his face. Everybody picking faves, and he's feeling out of place. Cause he is for the team, and he always rep the squad. Like that Christmas movie, he gon' always die. City on my back. They ask me what's my name, and it is on my back. I'm just speaking facts. We got big dreams, we ain't looking back.